Bienvenidos al VisionQuest Sound Podcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the VisionQuest Sound Podcast. I'm your host, Philip, and on this show, we love to talk about music and culture with artists and creators who are making positive waves in our community. In this episode, our special guest, she's a South American singer, songwriter, and podcaster. Her music has been featured in TV and film. She's also featured in Music Connection magazine's top 100 unsigned artists. But what really grabs me is her personality and her passion for artist growth and empowerment. And she's also a featured creator here with us at VisionQuest Sound. Please welcome Alessa Ray. Welcome to the show, Alessa.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Congratulations on all the cool music and videos you've released, your new podcast called The Hustler Musician, and your article here at VisionQuest Sound called 5 Reasons to Start Your Podcast as a Musician.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I really want to encourage musicians to do podcasts. It helps you build that connection. It helps you show people your personality. I think that nowadays people want to find friends.
I like the way that you put that, opportunity. Yes. And when I heard your podcast, I always knew that I wanted to have you on our show. Ever since I seen you on YouTube and social media, I was like, oh my goodness, look at her.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You cannot imagine of how much insecurities that I have. So that means a lot for me.
Because of the climate and the world's condition right now, tell us what has changed for you, but more importantly, what you have learned in quarantine.
I learned to have time for myself. And sometimes when we have a lot of free time, we think like, what should I do? Because we want to keep busy all the time. So the more time we have free, I think that the more busy we should be, since we have to take advantage of that time to do everything that we didn't have time before. You know, for example, I want to write more songs. I want to study more songs. I want to learn more songs. I want to learn more songs to practice my singing. I want to learn more songs to practice my songwriting, because the more I study songs, the more vocabulary I have. I want to learn skills such as ukulele. I want to learn podcast skills. So that's how you can take advantage of your quarantine, even though I'm not working right now, having a physical job where I can get income. I want more time to focus on me and on my skills and, develop my artistry.
Your energy on your music videos, Mamacita, Game Over, they're just off the charts. And you had some placements in TV and film. So let's talk about that.
The first thing is that it took me a while to release those 4 songs. Imagine 2018, I released Mamacita. And then this one, Can't Figure You Out, I released it in 2020. So it takes me a while to release because of all the process that we have to do. As an artist, it takes a little bit of investment to take your song to a next level. If you want to hire another producer, if you want to do a music video, if you want to promote it. You have to have something if you want your music to have a little bit of success, So my first song, Mamacita, I was like, okay, this song I really wanted to work because I've seen that song that had potential because it was bilingual, it was Spanglish. I did the video. The video was so fun doing it because all of my friends came to support me. Mamacita. Actually, when you see the video, it looks more expensive than it really was because the crew and the people who support me, they were all my friends, and it was so fun.
I like the way the video starts out. It looks like you're in your bedroom with your feet up and you're just chilling on the bed.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I had to make the song work. I knew that I had to get press. I knew that I had to get streams, that I had to do a music video, because releasing a song is not just, okay, you put your song out. I mean, if you want your song to be a little bit successful, you have to put more work on it. Either you have to send to Submit Hub to get some playlists, or you have to hire some companies or agencies who can help you out with playlists. You have to reach out to music blogs to get a little bit of press so that people can see you. So I did that with Mamacita. I got press in Music Connections. I reached out to a couple of blogs, and I don't know how, but after all the work that I put on it, I got like that music placement on iZombie. After like a month, I received an email from Chop Shop music supervisors that they wanted to use my song. And I was like, what is this? To be honest, like Chop Shop music supervisors, they are huge. And I was like, is this a scam? And they actually wanted to use my song for this TV show, iZombie. So I was like, what is this about? I went to my mentors at MI.
Yes.
I was like, what is this about? And they were like, this is really legit. You should really answer them and you should really go for it.
Wow. Yeah, congrats on that. How did you feel?
In my home country, I never got press. I never got this opportunity. So I felt so good that in a city so competitive, because LA is so competitive, and I felt that people were accepting me and people were accepting my music, and that was a huge feeling for me. I felt accepted.
I'm on the YouTube video right now for Mamacita. You have 55,000 and rising. So this is huge. Congrats on that, Alessa.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Fast forward to Game Over. I love that music video. It's so colorful. It's so beautiful. You've got great dancers. Talk to us a little bit about that song, how it came about, and the songwriting process. Tell us a little bit about the story.
To be honest, that is one of my favorite songs that I wrote. I found out that I love harmonic minor. I have something with harmonic minor that makes me feel something.
I hear that in your music. What about that grabs you, and where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. It just brings me an emotion. It just brings me something. It awakes something in my soul.
Let's give it a listen.
Game over, don't wanna hear me.
We love that song. The songwriting's on point. The production, beautiful. I hear the harmonic minor. You have that electro tango, that electro swing. That's a unique sound.
I knew that I wanted to do like a tango vibe, and I was like, I should mix tango with electronics. And actually, there are a couple of songs that are electro tango, and people from the industry who are more into mainstream, they were telling me, oh yeah, this type of songs that you're trying to do is outdated. And even though they were telling me that it was outdated, my soul was telling me, no, I should still do it, you know?
Absolutely.
It was so deep in my soul that I really wanted to do it. It's good to try to be successful with music, but I think that being genuine, it's a huge part of it as well. Because at the end, that's why we are doing music, to vent, to free our soul. And I found out that I love music because I like careers focused on emotions, podcasting or songwriting or singing.
Tell us the story on how you first fell in love with music. Like, did you come from a musical background?
I do not come from a musical background. When I graduated from high school, my parents even told me, no, you're not going to be a musician. Because I come from a very traditional family. So, you know, they are like, no, you're going to be architect or you're going to be this, that. But while I was studying architecture, I never left music. I tried to always figure out the way of how to do music. What inspires me to do music was because I really loved listening to music, listening to artists. Since very young, I was very attracted to music. It was moving something in my soul. Even though I was studying architecture, I try to take music lessons or I try to meet music people. I was always in some type of music environment, even though I was not doing very constantly or full-time or whatever. Then I graduated from architecture and I went to LA, and that's why I considered that I was 100% And before going to LA, I recorded some music here in Paraguay. I met producers and I wrote a couple of songs, my first songs that I was starting to write. Music taught me that you have to give yourself permission to be messy and mediocre and just not judge yourself too much. Because I have to admit that I'm very hard on myself and I tend to judge too much myself to say that I'm not good enough or that my songs are not good enough. But you have to take that mediocrity. You have to be messy and bad to be good. Because when you're bad, then magical things happen and good songwriting starts to come up.
So I wanted to ask you, how do you approach music from an architectural point? Is there something that you borrow some philosophies?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that music is architecture and architecture is music. When you are composing, you are designing, not visually, but sonically. Instead of building a house or designing a house, you're designing your songs. You're decorating with arrangements, you're decorating with sounds, you're decorating with harmonies. And that's how it grows. When you start designing like a house or when you start your scratch, your drawing is very crappy, it's very messy, it doesn't look good. But then when you start to develop your craft on your architecture, then you have this great building, this great idea. When I just start writing my songs, I always think like, oh, this is crappy, this is messy. But then when I start to develop, to do the background vocals or just start to work more on the track, the melody, at the end, both are designs. You know, what is sonic design and the other one is visual designs.
I knew there was something special about you. I knew it. I was trying to find out your approach. And then when you said the architecture and then the music, and then I was just trying to put together the harmonic minor and then multi, you know, we all have the superpowers.
The superpowers. When I was in architecture and when I was like showing my ideas to my teachers and all that, I faced a lot of rejections as well. And in music, I face rejections all the time, but it gave me a little bit more of thick skin in architecture because when I went to music, I got a little bit more used to the rejection. Because in architectures, I remember that my teachers were super harsh on me. I felt so bad with my self-esteem and all that. But when you start to grow and when you begin to be a little bit more mature, you start to learn how things really are, you know, especially that you have to give yourself permission to be bad. When you're starting out, you have to make sure to show it to someone who you trust. Because if you show your song that you are just starting out with a very crappy vocal, a pitchy vocal, you have to show to someone that probably can see your vision because that horrible track can become great. Once you develop, you know, it can become like a great piece of art.
Wow. The emotional Alessa reveals the secrets to success, the secrets to the vision at VisionQuest Sound. If your artistry was like a birthday cake, what slices would some of these artists be?
Cara Emerald. I love that girl. Swing growlers. A little bit of Taylor Swift, also a little bit of Katy Perry as well. Taylor Swift, even though sonically I don't sound like her, I love how she writes. It's so smart the way she writes, and I really admire how she writes. So I study her writing. Camila Cabello can be a little bit as well, probably because she's bilingual as well.
The greats. Alessa, I wanted to ask you, do you play any instruments besides singing?
Actually, like a little bit of guitar, a little bit of ukulele that I'm learning, then piano, like chords and all that. I start also with loops. Loops helps me a lot. But also, for example, if I want a melody, vocal melody line, I try to play in the piano first because that's easier for me to see if the sounds are clashing with a production. You know, because sometimes you are singing out of tune and you think that the melody is not working, but when you put it in the piano, then the melody works. So for me, it's always better to write my vocal melody in the piano to see and to analyze if the notes are clashing and then to sing on the top.
Yeah, I noticed that you have a great ear, so I had to ask that. It sounds like, you know, if you can play the piano, ukulele, that really shows your musicianship because I was listening to the music and I was like, hey, yeah, I didn't see you playing instruments on your videos, but your musicianship shines.
No, and also when you start to produce in Logic, that's also when you learn because I don't play the drums, I don't play anything, and that's how you develop. Let yourself be messy, let yourself experiment with things. Your image is part of your artistry and your sound. Everything has to make sense. Like for an artist, at first I didn't think that image was important or your Instagram was important, but I think you have to be complete in every sense. Your website has to be on point with your sound, with your Instagram, with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. The consistency. Fast forward to more recently. I'm seeing something a little different. What is this red bow? This new look over here. Can you tell us what that red bow symbolizes? Because I'm seeing it everywhere.
The red bow. Oh my God, that's so interesting. The thing is that I was like starting to listen more to electro swing music. So I was watching a lot of electro swing artists, and they were like with bows red and, that dress.
Okay. Yeah.
So I wanted to make something like sonically similar with the dresses.
It's cute.
And it's so fun to mix the artistry of the image with the sounds. It's fun,
It matches your lipstick too. It really pops.
Yeah, and it's fun to be like a character, to give yourself permission to be like character. Even Gypsy Woman. Gypsy Woman, my song, it's like a flamenco vibe.
Gypsy woman told me you were no good. Gypsy woman told me you were dead.
Oh, yeah. Man, I love that track. Can you give some shout outs to some of your favorite musicians that you worked with either here or in Paraguay?
Oh, for example, Marco is one of the ones that I love it. Renata, I love Renata. She's growing so much. But the thing is that it's hard for me because everyone is so different. For example, Renata is super different than Marco, but it's still amazing, So everyone brings Juan also. It's great. He's a great musician. He's a great guitar player, everything. But at the same time, he's different as well. So that's the beauty. I found that beauty that you meet so many musicians and everyone is doing different things. It's hard for me to tell you who is my favorite because everyone is so different. But the beauty is that everyone brings their spark.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all our favorites.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Every one of them are my favorites. Yeah, and composition, I have a friend called Jose Estrada. I love how he composes. He does more for film and all that, and it's so emotional, and that's another style as well, which is amazing, So everyone brings their spice to the table, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Beautiful times and good old times over here in LA.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I was like in MI, I went to this songwriting classes and I was just so embarrassed of showing my lyrics. I remember that one of my mentors was Michael Anderson. He's so good in songwriting. And I went to him and I was like, oh my God, my songs are bad and I'm embarrassed. And he was like, if you're embarrassed, you have to put it out, because the more embarrassed you are about your songs, the more you have to say it. If someone doesn't want to say something that they feel, that's why they like the song, because he didn't say it, you say it, because at the end, everyone is like in the same boat, but we're kind of ashamed of admitting our... The more embarrassed you're about saying your feelings and putting your emotion out, the more you have to say it. Like, tell in your songs what you don't want to tell to the people.
That's a great tip to share with the world. Wow, I'm so glad that
the dark
That's
secrets, just say everything.
Now I really want to listen to more of your music. I want to hear the dark secrets.
Oh yeah, we love secrets.
When are you coming back? Do you have any plans in the future to come back to LA?
I really wanted, like I mentioned, I got my visa rejected and I felt so bad about it. Since I felt bad about it, I had to focus, okay, what should my next step be, So I'm planning now to go to London.
Cool. That's going to be awesome. Oh my goodness.
Like in August or something like that. Yeah, because since I hold a European passport and in December is the last time that I can apply there for settlement. Yeah, because London is similar to LA. I mean, not similar, but it has like a lot of opportunities as well. So I wanted to find a space there, like a job or continue growing as a musician, still go to the jam nights, still find my music group and try to settle there a little bit and then go back to LA. And, I think that I'm going to be back and forth, London, LA, once my life is a little bit more settled.
London is going to love you.
I hope so.
Yeah, they have a beautiful music community there, which I know will embrace you. London, if you're listening, look out. Alessa's coming to take over. All right, show her some love. In these dark times, there's also new beginnings. Alessa, you are the official affirmation queen of our podcast. Please share with us some of your affirmations. I need them. We need them.
Yeah. Actually, rejection, you have to think rejection as redirection. Imagine my visa. I mean, for me, staying in LA was everything. Redirection, I mean, London, so rejection is redirection. You have to learn that. Another thing is that pain is your greatest asset. If you are feeling painful, sometimes that can serve you to help people. Pain with purpose is power. Give yourself permission to be messy. Give yourself permission to be mediocre. Give yourself permission to write horrible songs, to draw horrible sketches. The worse you are, the better you're going to become. I remember that Ed Sheeran once, in an interview, he said that you have to, when you excavate, you can get like dirty water. But then when you start to excavate even more and more, then the clean water starts to come. You have to excavate and get the dirty water to get the clean water.
Oh my goodness. We hit gold in this podcast.
It's so fun.
Alessa, where can we go to follow you on social media?
Alessa, ALESSA _RAY _ Alessa Ray. It's my Instagram. And for my podcast, it's The Hustler Musician. And if someone wants like a topic or something that someone will be very interested in talking about, you can just DM me like with your favorite topic or something that you want to cover, or even a guest that you would want. I want to invite more guests in my podcast to tell their stories.
Thank you for your leadership and empowerment to our community here. It's a worldwide thing, and I love where you're coming from because you're all about growth and helping and connecting.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. I love being here. And you're going to be part of my podcast as well because I love your energy and your inspiration and your leadership.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alessa Ray.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, this is Philip from VisionQuest Sound. Thank you so much for listening today. If you enjoyed this episode, please support our podcast by donating any amount that's in your heart. It will help us sustain future episodes, as well as support the artists and creators that are on this show. If you enjoyed the music in this episode, please show some love and follow Alessa on social media. I'm Philip from VisionQuest Sound, signing off.